This is Jarrod Horak for the RunawayHorse.com, and I have a couple videos planned this week. I'm going to do the Jockey Club Gold Cup Stakes from Saratoga in this video, and then I'm going to do the John C. Maybe in my next video from Del Mar. Now, if you're interested in my full cards from Del Mar, this is closing weekend at Del Mar. They're running 5 days this week, Thursday through the holiday, Monday, Labor Day. And you can find those full cards on my sales page at therunawayhorse.com. If you're interested in my free selections, I have those on a few websites at therunawayhorse.com on my California and New York pages. On the official Del Mar website, I do a free pick each day. And then also at horseracingnation.com, my daily best bets blog, where I post a best bet each day from around the country. And I will provide links for those free selections in the description in this video if you're interested in any of those. Let's jump into the analysis portion of this video. And we're going to do for Saturday, September 4th, 2021, we're going to do the 12th race from Saratoga. It's the Grade 1 $1 million Jockey Club Gold Cup Stakes for 3-year-olds and up, 1.25 miles on the main track with a scheduled post time 6:46 p.m. Eastern Time. We have a field of 6 in here. This race is typically run at Belmont Park, but it's going to be run at Saratoga this summer. Number 1, Forza Di Oro. He's only run 6 times. He's had 4 wins and a second. He's one that I've liked for a long time. He was on my Kentucky Derby list when he was a 2-year-old in 2019. Now, in 2019, he competed 3 times. First time out in a 1-turn mile, he was second. And then second time out, in a maiden special weight race at 1 mile and a 16th at Belmont Park. He won that one, stalking the pace from the inside post, and then he jumped into the Remsen Stakes. Now, after that maiden win, I put him on my Derby list, and then after the Remsen Stakes, he was off the Derby list that quick because he stalked the pace. He finished 8th by 24, and he did not resurface from December 2019 all the way to October of 2020. In an entry-level allowance race late in his 3-year-old season, he rallied from 6th place. He won by a neck. 1 mile and an 1/8 in his next start in the Grade 3 Discovery. And this was his final start as a 3-year-old in 2020. In that 1 mile and an 1/8 race, he stalked from 3rd. He pulled well clear. He almost won by 4 lengths. And then he was off for a long time again. From November of 2020 to July 21st of this year, he came back in an optional claiming race, 1 mile and an 1/8 in the mud at Saratoga. He tracked the pace from second, and he pulled well clear. He won by 3 lengths. They eased up at the end. Very easy victory under Junior Alvarado. So Bill Mott trains this one. A lot of upside still. He's only run 6 times. His speed figures in his last 3 especially jumped up. And each time they jumped up pretty impressively. So he's one that if he can get this 1.25 mile distance, and based on that last race, it certainly looks like it should not be that much of an issue. He should be within striking range throughout from the inside post, and he's certainly one of the top win contenders in this race. Number 2, Max Player, another solid contender in here. He's one that I've liked for a long time as well. I picked him in the Withers Stakes in my Kentucky Derby on the Road to the Derby video series in 2020, and in that Withers Stakes, he rallied. He was wide throughout. He rallied, and he won easily by more than 3 lengths. That was a nice effort that day. Losing all that ground, and he showed a lot of stamina in there. And then his next start was in the Belmont Stakes, and he finished 3rd there behind Tiz the Law and Dr. Post. The Travers Stakes, again, he was 3rd. Tiz the Law, Karakura was 2nd. Max Player rallied to finish 3rd. Then he lost his form after that. He was 5th in the Kentucky Derby and 5th in the Preakness, and then he was 11th, beaten 24 lengths in the Saudi Cup. And then the Pimlico Special this year, he was 6th, beaten 8 lengths. And then he finally bounced back last time. He returned to New York, 1.25 miles in the slop, the Grade 2 Suburban. He tracked the pace. He was able to gut out the victory by a neck over Mystic Guide. And then Happy Saver, who's in this race, was 3rd in that event. Now, Max Player got back on the beam last time. He seems to like New York. He does seem to do good work when he runs in New York. Ricardo Santana Jr. rode him last time, and he's going to be back aboard today. And there's not a lot of speed in here, so if he can show the kind of tactical speed that he showed in the Suburban, he's got a good shot. If he doesn't show that tactical speed, he could be in deep water, because he didn't really show that kind of tactical speed in any of his other races. And then last time he really did, which was a step in the right direction. So the next one in here is the 3, Chess Chief. He's had 26 starts. He's finished in the top 3 in 12 of those 26 with 4 victories, and he's earned a little less than $700,000 in his career. Typically he'll struggle in stakes races, but he did win the Grade 2 New Orleans Classic at Fairgrounds earlier this year. In the 2020 Oaklawn Handicap, he was up the track. The Grade 3 Mineshaft at Fairgrounds, he was third. Maxfield beat him easily there. Maxfield beat him in the Grade 2 Ali Sheba, and then Maxfield also beat him in the Grade 2 Stephen Foster when he was fifth. And then at Colonial Downs last time on turf, he finished fourth, beaten 8 lengths. That was just probably a prep for this because he had never run on turf before. So Chess Chief is going to try to get involved late. Typically, though, against this kind of company, he's a bit overmatched. But 2 starts at this distance with just 1 second, and then he's 0 for 1 at Saratoga. The 4, Happy Saver, for trainer Todd Pletcher. He's another one of those lightly raced 4-year-olds like Forza Di Oro. He's had 6 career starts with 5 wins and a third. That third place finish was in the Suburban last time out. Max Player won that one. He was just an even third. He raced wide throughout from the outside post, didn't really punch it in the lane. His other efforts were all victories, including a 1 1/8 entry-level allowance victory at Saratoga last summer. He won the Federico Tessio Stakes at Laurel. He won the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup when it was run at Belmont Park last fall, where he stalked the pace and he won by 3/4 of a length. Mystic Guide was second. Tacitus was third that day. And then he came back in an optional claiming race, 1 mile around 1 turn at Belmont Park in May, and he won that race, and that was his race prior to the Suburban last time. It's good tactical speed in a race with really no speed. He should be close up throughout under Irad Ortiz Jr. Number 5, Night Ops, pretty solid horse. He's had 24 lifetime starts, 17 of 24. He's finished in the top 3. Actually, this year he's 0 for 6, but he has 4 seconds and 2/3. They were all in the stakes ranks. And then he was 3 for 5 last year. He did win the Essex Handicap and the Cornhusker, the Grade 3 race at Prairie Meadows as well. And this year, he's just hit the board in a bunch of races. The 5th season, the Essex, the Grade 3 Ben Ali, the Blaine Stakes, the Grade 3 Monmouth Cup, the Alydar Stakes last time out, I thought was a good effort. He stalked from second. It was a slow early, fast late event. Art Collector was able to roll that day, and then Art Collector came back and he won the Charlestown Classic. Night Ops finished more than 8 lengths in front of show finisher Math Wizard. So that was a nice effort last time out. Now can he go 1 1/4? We know he can go at least 1 1/8. He handled Saratoga just fine last time out. And now, just like I think the race shape should be fairly similar because there's not a lot of speed. So we're probably looking at a slow early, fast late event, and he's got enough tactical speed to work out a decent trip. And then finally, number 6, Forewarned. He's a solid veteran. He's 8 for 40. He's had 7 seconds and 4/3, but he is 0 for 8 this year with 2 seconds, and he was 1 for 9 last year. So just 1 for his last 17. He seems up against it. He's earned almost 600,000, but this is probably too tough of a spot for him. He's one that does handle the distance, though. He's had 8 starts with 2 wins, a second, and a third, but he is 0 for 2 at Saratoga. So I'll give out my top 4 in this race. My 4th choice, my live long shot, is number 5, Night Ops. I'd like to get him somewhere in the exotics. If one of the favorites can stub their toe, he's one that could certainly finish somewhere in there because he likes to hit the board. He's in good form. He's got enough tactical speed to work out an okay trip. Some of his speed figures aren't too far behind the top contenders, especially his last 2 speed figures, and he's one that could hit the board. My 3rd choice is going to be Max Player. Just the fact that a lot of it's going to be price because they're going to bet him way down in this race. He's not going to be close to the almost 12 to 1 he was in the Suburban. He's going to be bet down nicely in this race, and he's got to show that tactical speed, I think, because it's going to be a slow early, fast late event. My 2nd choice will be Happy Saver, number 4 for trainer Todd Pletcher. Not much to say wrong about his form. He's 5 for 6 lifetime with a third. He can improve off of that last effort in the slop, wide trip. Willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. He could end up being the favorite in this race, and I would not be surprised if he won it. But I'm going to go with Forza Di Oro is my top choice for trainer Bill Mott. Won his last 3 starts. Speed figures jumped up in each of those. He's a Grade 3 winner against 3-year-olds. He looked really good in his return race at Saratoga in the mud in July. So I think Forza Di Oro has enough positional speed from that inside post that he can work out a good trip. And if he can just run back to his speed figure and his optional claiming win, or at least run a little bit faster, he could I wouldn't say it's going to be a huge upset, but he could get the job done in this race. So Forza Di Oro is going to be my top choice in the Grade 1 Jockey Club Gold Cup for 2021. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And that will wrap up this video. I'll be back and I'm going to look at the John C. Maybe from Del Mar for my second video this week. And again, if you're interested in my full cards, you can find them on my sales page at therunawayhorse.com. That's my Del Mar full cards for closing weekend. And that will wrap up this week's video. And I'll be back again, as I said, to do the John C. Maybe video next.